Hey folks. Welcome to the August 8th, 2023 Kubernetes SIG Docs meeting. I'm your host today. My name is Ray Lahana. I'm one of the co-chairs for Kubernetes SIG Docs. We do abide by the CNCF code of conduct, so be mindful of what you say and also be kind and be excellent to each other. And this meeting is also recorded and uploaded to YouTube after this meeting. So please be mindful what you say. That will be persistent on YouTube. I'm going to share my screen here. I've also, let me make sure, about link to the agenda in the chats. All right. So this is our meeting agenda and we'd like to welcome any new contributors. So I'll give a few minutes for anyone that's new that would like to introduce themselves.
Yeah, myself Afan, and I'm a computer science student, and I am fairly new to the Kubernetes community, and I'm willing to contribute in SIG Docs.
Welcome, Afan.
Hey folks, my name is Brad. I'm the comms lead for the 1.28 release, so I just came to align and solve a couple problems together.
Thank you very much for joining.
No problem.
Anyone else? All right, great to see everyone again. Great to see some familiar faces. Welcome back to some of you folks as well. So I'll continue. Should be sharing my screen here. This week's PR Wrangler is Natalie. So if you have any open PRs, your PR Wrangler for this week is Natalie. Next week is Divya, and the following week is Nate. I and several other SIG Docs reviewers will also continually review. I do some here and there, so I'll watch out for some PRs as well for this week. There's a link to your PR Wrangler shifts as well on the agenda, so if you'd like to take a look. Also, if you notice any code of conduct violations as well in meetings, GitHub comments, or Slack, there's a link on the agenda for the Kubernetes Code of Conduct Committee as well, so you could reach out anonymously if you need to. Do want to start off, since this next week is the scheduled release for release 128. Is there anyone from the 128 release team, from the docs or comms team, that would like to give us updates, please?
Yeah, so it doesn't look like we have anyone from docs, but we have Leo, Grace,
I'm here.
and sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm a docs shadow. Hello, my name is Kat Cosgrove. Today is indeed the docs deadline. We have just gone through and updated the project board to double check everything. We have 9 PRs outstanding, still undergoing review. So I will run through after this meeting and bother everybody and remind them that today is the deadline, but everything else is merged. So I'm going to call us, I don't know, 9 makes me nervous, even though I know this happens every time. So I'm probably going to call that red. Grace can feel free to dial me back on that one, but it feels a little bit red to me. Leo, do I need help? I am okay. I'm going to write one message and copy and paste it into all of the PRs, but if there are PR owners that you see in the board that you know personally and can get a hold of in a separate way, feel free to remind them that today is the deadline.
Okay.
We will take. Sorry.
I was just gonna say the release lead shadow are ready to go if you need help reaching out.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Katz.
Yep.
Anything else? All right. That's a much better number than what I looked at just from my query and the agenda, just to look at open PRs for the Dev 128 branch. So I have 16, but 4 are in draft. I have a sense that those folks, that the PRs in draft might be for enhancements that are no longer tracked. So if the docs team can take some time to just review the open PRs that are targeting the Dev 128 branch, see if sometimes I saw two today, so I closed those two. That if they're associated enhancements no longer targeting 128, to close them and to make a comment about
Okay,
closing
I'll
it.
tell I'll tell Rashid to go take a look at that.
Right. Thank
yeah.
you.
You know, if depending on how the closure looks, you know, it might be worth saying to the author, look, this will be great documentation. You know, please keep your work around and retarget it to Dev 129 when you're ready, because, you know, we like to be nice to people. We try to be excellent to one another.
Yeah. I also like to say if this is incorrect, you could reopen with /reopen in the comments.
Okay.
Just in case. All right. Thank you very much. Comms, I saw Brad on the call. If you could give us an update for comms.
Yeah, sure. So we have Carolina and myself here from comms. Wanted to just align with everyone on the merged one that was for August 15. So yeah, obviously that's a mistake. Generally we do the feature blogs a day apart from each other. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that obviously we wouldn't want to schedule that on the same day as the main release blog.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so I have that link on the agenda. So there's where the feature blog for non-graceful node shut down to GA. So that's already merged, so you have to rename the file as well, since the dates is also in the file name. So you could open a PR to change that. It does not have to be the author of the original blog post as well. So anyone could make that change. And if is there a project board as well? So this is an example of the 126 feature blog tracking project board. And I know there's always issues with like with if it's public or private and who can see it or not. There's with all those permission rules. But if there is one, if we could somehow grant, I know there's a SIGDocs blog approvers and SIGDocs approvers groups, GitHub groups as well. If it could just share a status on the publication dates for the 128 feature blogs, that would be great, because there's 3 other open feature blog PRs for 128, or 3 open ones, and plus the official release that has not been open yet, I believe. So we have some scheduling to do for the feature blog. So if you could share that when that's ready. I think I did see a message that it might be still in the works in terms of scheduling.
Sure. So if you go back to the enhancements board for the old one, if you type in the links in the chat, by the way, as well, but if you type in project, there you go.
Oh, perfect.
So this is the comms view, and if we go over, we have the PRs, and then we can change this to however you want it. So generally, since 127, we now track it in here as well.
Okay.
Have you told the blog article authors these dates?
Not yet, no.
Okay, that's like they need to know. That's an important thing, part of the role.
Okay, so I'll go to each one of these PRs and let them know the date, and then I'll do that straight away.
Okay. Yes, that is very important. I do have a link for those open PRs already, but I see the one that's been merged is scheduled for August 16th. So that date needs to be changed on the header, the title, and also on the file name as well.
Sure.
Any questions for the comms team, or any questions for us, for SIGDocs from comms or docs? All right, but there are no other questions. I do have one more request, and I'll put this in the docs release channel as well. If you could do one more sync for the sync the dev 128 branch this week, that would be great. And then we should be good for next week. I am available from release day, so we'll be available next week to help out the docs team for the release day task and follow-up task as well.
One thing I will point out, we recently merged change to a short code, code and code new, and a few people around the release that's caused some confusion. People trying to use the newer short code, which is called code, but maybe their branch isn't up to date yet, and that merge might change behaviors for people. So just something to watch out for.
That's a good thing to point out.
I'll add a note to the agenda if you like.
Yeah. Works. Branches. Okay. It's a good thing to watch out for it, especially if you might have some errors on your preview or any other errors that might come up with your pull requests. Might have to rebase. All right. Thank you very much to the 128 team for attending and for giving us the updates today. I'll take a look at the open PRs for docs as well later today. All right, so we can move on. Any other issues in PRs that anyone would like to bring up? Okay. Next topic, there is a new GitHub discussion from Divya on localization, or Divya opened it on the localization contribution docs update in terms of how we will update how to localize, or how do we create new localization, how do we update, and what that looks like. So I have the link in the agenda, which is open up here on my screen. So please take a look at that, and please add your input on this GitHub discussion.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to that, Ray. There's also a link there that Syoko has put into the GitHub discussion for folks to have a look at, which is the updated org membership information and guidelines. And I just want to kind of say out loud for folks here that especially in localization work, we like to recognize draft work, given that there's so much kind of lift in localizing content, especially specifically in new languages, and that the updated guidelines for K8's org membership has actually underlined that draft PRs are okay, and that's something that we can take into account. So I would just want to put it out there for other folks who are either working with localization folks and who often find a hurdle on gaining K8's org membership sometimes, that draft work is definitely something that is valid in terms of showing the work that you're doing and consistency that you're doing, and now that's been updated in the guidelines too. So I just really want to point that out for folks that if in case you're not aware.
Thank you, Natalie.
Tim?
I have another point. I suspect, maybe this goes without saying, but we really want, if it's draft and it's under a CLA, then great. You know, you've given it to us, whether it's merged or not. If you haven't licensed it to us, I think it counts much less. So CLAs won't count.
Yeah, big agree. I think I definitely still want to put work in that still meets the minimum requirements of K8's general contribution guidelines too. But in terms of org membership, yeah, like draft is okay as long as it's under a CLA. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Any other comments or questions about this GitHub discussion on localizations, or updating the localization contribution updates guide? All right, next there was an open GitHub discussion we opened several weeks ago on generative AI for Kubernetes docs, and there's been some good comments in that GitHub discussion as well. So please take a look at that. I see Robert Reeves from LF is here on the call. If there's any updates, Robert, if you want to give, please feel free.
Oh,
I
just
see here. I see
yeah,
here.
and I'll just speak to it real quick. Chatted with Joanna Lee, effectively got the green light. CNCF Legal sees this as low risk. And I wanted the team to know that you got LF's full support, you got CNCF's full support here. But I just want to make sure that that's not a blocker. I know there was some concerns about it, so ran to trouble on that, and we got that sorted. So wonderful to see that y'all are doing that. And I apologize, Ray. I guess I didn't see that bullet point before I added my stuff. So thank you for starting that.
Welcome. Thank you for giving us the update. All right. Are there any questions? I do see a hand up here.
Hey, Robert. Yeah. Is there, so I know other people who are curious about that issue that you just discussed. Is there somewhere we could find out more about that conversation?
Yes, in our meeting notes, I believe further down, we actually discussed this in a meeting prior, a couple of meetings back. There we go. Where can you check the? Can you just show us the date of that, Ray, for that meeting for Rolfie?
July 11.
Perfect. That was the first instance of that discussion as well, so you can start tracking that from there onwards.
And is that kind of the authoritative source of this information, or is that derivative? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for.
Yep. I would also look at the recording of this meeting at this as well. Maybe the notes didn't capture absolutely everything, but the recording of the July 11th meeting plus the notes are the source of truth. Yes.
Well, I guess I would ask if the CNCF has any public documentation for their approval to use generative AI, or is there anything public from the CNCF?
Yeah, exactly.
Not yet. They're working on that. Joanna did not want this to be a blocker, and the conversation was between her, Todd Moore, and myself. That wasn't recorded. So what can I do to help y'all? What would you like? Because they're not ready to. Thank you, Natalie. They're not ready to come out and do the canonical, here it is. Joanna's view was like, look, this is low risk. I'm not concerned about this. Go forth as we continue to do what we're doing, trying to get that canonical opinion out. What can I do to allay concerns?
No, that's great. That helps with the context that I need. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Happy to help. Hey, gang, I work for y'all. So if you need anything, let me know. You get it.
All right. Thank you, Robert, Rolf. Any other comments or questions about this topic? All right. Next topic from Abby. Improving outdated content warning on localized content issue.
Yes, hello. So I created an issue, which now it seems I should have created a GitHub discussion to talk about this, but I can move that over if we want to do that. So this is a new improvement that was made recently to the website. So there's a little automation that will check if a English language page has been updated more recently than a localized page. And if the English page is more updated or more recent date, then they will pop up this message on a localized page. And we were looking for a bit of feedback. So I'm one of the leads of the localization subproject, because the Korean localization has noticed some places where this shouldn't really pop up, like when a spacing or something small has been changed on the page that doesn't necessarily impact the Korean localization. This message will show up because the pages have been updated more recently in the English page, but it kind of presents the appearance that the page is out of date more so than it would be when it's not actually date, the actual material content is the same. So this is just an ask for some feedback on this piece and what improvements we can make to make it a little less, maybe a little less confusing for readers, or appear in a more meaningful way on the correct pages that are actually out of date. So I just wanted to highlight this. I can move it over to a GitHub issue if we want to do it, if that's the best place to move that for this conversation to happen. But I wanted to raise this up to the group here.
Thank you for raising this issue up. Yeah, I know there were several PRs that that changed a lot of the English line spacing, and so I think that might have affected many of the localization pages. And I don't know if there's a possible change to the script to determine if the line spacing was all that was changed. Kim?
Okay. So Hugo is definitely not clever enough to spot whether a white space change is significant or not, or whether a change is white space only. But we could provide a tool that a localization team could run once a week, or whenever, and say, this is going to update all of the pages where the only missing thing is non-trivial white space, and either move some white space around or do an empty commit or whatever. And that will help in some way. Actually, an empty commit won't work, but like some sort of important enough change to do something. Much easier to make that kind of tooling and have localization teams go, okay, we know how to make the warning disappear, we'll do that, than it is to teach Hugo to spot the difference.
Okay, cool. That might be something we can look into.
I have another thing.
Tim.
So one thing we don't do anywhere in the site is have a shut up, I have seen this warning, now don't tell me about it for a bit button. And there are some warnings where you might want to collapse them once people tick a box, or you might want to hide them. So some mechanisms where this is applied. With this banner here, this warning, that would be one where people might say, yeah, okay, great, but just collapse that now for me, for the next 20 days or whatever. Banners on the website, yes, I've seen KubeCon. I don't need an inch of my screen dedicated to telling me that it's happening. And a few other things. If you're looking at the documentation for Kubernetes 1.25, you kind of know that it's out of date, and a small reminder rather than a big reminder is fine. So there is a web development opportunity, not a bug, but it's an opportunity for someone to add a feature that does that, probably tracks it with a cookie, and makes the user experience better, but tells them once.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to capture this. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is a great opportunity. We do see a lot of folks who ask for ways to contribute to SIG docs, and folks with various different skill levels. So I think this is a great opportunity for someone who has those web dev chops to add a feature to the website. All right, I'll create an issue to add that, or to make that open. All right, any other comments or questions, or any additional topics? All right, I think that's it for our SIG docs call for this week. Once again, I want to thank all the contributors who've joined the call, also the 128 release team as well. And I will reach out for next week's task for the 128 release. Just to remind folks, we do freeze the Kubernetes/website repo for 24 hours before the release dates. So you will see PRs, even though they are supposed to merge, you will see them just waiting until the freeze is lifted. till after the release. So that's just a warning for everyone here that we will freeze the website 24 hours before the scheduled release date. All right, well, thank you very much. And I will see you on Slack and see you next time on the next SIG Docs meeting.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everyone.